Very good morning from Coventry, from the UK Open warm-up. This is the final day of a two-day tournament of 18 games. There's already been one game this morning at 8:30, which wasn't streamed. But this is the first streamed game of the day between two Scottish players, Raymond Tate against Stuart Harkness. Both Ray and Stu lost their first games of the day. Ray lost to Craig Sullivan by 65, and I can overhear him in commentary saying it was a very good game. And Stu lost by a similar margin to Teresa Buisson from Malta, who, as we saw at the recent Alchemist Cup, excelled some tremendous 8-letter plays at that tournament. So Teresa's back in the running a little with that victory in the first game today, and there's 8 more games to go today, of which I believe 7 of them will be streamed. I'm willing to commentate for quite a few games, but if anybody else wants to commentate, just contact Craig and I'll just do when nobody else wants to do. I believe Chris Hawkins is doing a couple later in the day, 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Anyway, race is starting. It's played Barf, B-A-R-F. The other letters were E-N-S, which is a strong Rackleave, and quite well showing that Fab was a better play because it's keeping the R, which is a very good tile, so Rackleave of S-E-R-N has been a very good Rackleave. Just 2 points left. Stu's got E-E-H-L-A-N-S. I'm not seeing it a bonus straight away here. There may well not be. I've just looked on Zaziva. There's no seven letter words with this, and the 8s would need a D, O, or S. The O was N-Halos. The D was Hanselled. And the S, I believe, was Haleness, which I wouldn't be able to get that word myself. H-A-L-E-N-E-S-S. So there's no bonuses available, so Stuart may either pluralize Barf and get the points from that in the small double word, or more likely he may place it like H-E above or below Barf, or even from the F of Barf, F-E-H, which would be 17 points. As with the game, Jesty, if you're watching and wondering what Ray's other 4 tiles are, Ray doesn't actually turn over tiles and put them onto his rack, but he's drawn until his opponent's play. So neither ourselves nor Ray is aware of what his other 4 tiles are. Now, I've just had a look on the ABSP database, and it keeps record of head-to-heads between players, and it's showing from games recorded back to 2010. Ray and Steve have got 4 wins each, and the draw was the most recent match last September in Edinburgh, where they drew 396 points each. So we may be in for another close encounter of the Scottish kind. Stu's played one of my options. I said the EH under the F bar for FEH for 17. It probably was the highest scoring play. Well, the highest scoring play while keeping a very strong lead, and it is shown as Quackle's favourite play, preferred play. So Stu's kept a rack leave of LANES, lanes, and he just needs a half decent pickup, and there should be a strong chance of a bonus. Ray had a rack leave of SEN, I believe, and picked up BRRU. It seems to find fairly quickly. I hope he's seen the bonus here. It looks like he may not have. It's a very, very common word. It's burners. I believe FEH may well be a Hebrew letter, which Ray should be aware of as he's Jewish, and he is playing. So I'm saying that FEH will take that. Ray's decided where to play it. He's pluralizing Barth, which is exactly the same points unless there's any double letter squares in either. It seems Quackle valuation's exactly the same as to wherever the bonus was played. Stuart's got about 3 bonuses on his rack. I think it's Inlacers, Scalini, and Sanicles, the third one. Obviously, he can pluralize FEH to fit bonus in, or he may look through the R for an 8 to play there. The 8s are Carlines and Lanciers to the R. Lanciers looks like it's going to be the best because it's going to double the C, which is worth 3 points. So that's my play, Lanciers through the R of burners. Stu's tiles are very high probability. He gave himself a very strong rack leave, so as I said, just a half decent pickup of 2 tiles was pretty likely that Stu would have a bonus. As I say, there's 8 games left today, including this one, and it's close at the top. The great one, Nigel Richards, has just lost his first game of the day, 4-5-1 to 4-5-3 against namesake Karen Richards. And so Nigel's on 8 wins and 2 losses. Natalie Zolti has won the first game against Jack from Nigeria. I believe Natalie won that by around 160. So Natalie is 1 win behind Nigel, but Nigel's spread is much superior. But Natalie Zolti's having a very good tournament so far. The final game last night, Natalie got 499 points, but managed to lose by 21 to Craig Solomons, who scored 520. It's obviously not often that you get 499 and lose a game. My partner Rose Kingdom was reminding me there was a great game in the Northeast relatively recently where it was a 502 point tie, and that was between myself and Rose at Middlesbrough Club a couple of months ago. It was an exciting game. Stu's taken a long time over this move. He's decided to play Scalini, which showing Inlaces is the best move, and then Lancers Inlaces on 11D. That would be to make FEHS. Stu may be doubting the FEHS, otherwise he'd have played Inlaces there if he had thought of Inlaces, but I say my favourite play was Lancers through the hour of Bernie's. Scalini isn't quite the best move because it's in the plus the S in the triple lane, but it is still a bonus and makes the game even at the moment. Ray, after a bonus, is just putting his tiles on his rack, and so we're just seeing them. Seems Ray has 2 E's, HNPI, and a blank, which is a fairly strong rack. And this Ray will, unless he sees a play very quickly, it may take a while to get the best play here, especially with the S tempting between the triples. I haven't seen my favourite play at the moment. The P and H makes it a sort of slightly difficult combination. So, it would be nice having this set of tiles. I believe HESP is good, taking a triple spot. 1 letter difference, and it would have been Thespian through the S. There are indeed not any 7-letter words with this combination. Ray, I believe, has gone for a T for his blank for Nephrite for a bonus, which is a nice spot. There were 2 8-letter plays on the triple lane, and I'm just looking at Ziva for this. May well have got them with more time, but Feesing, Pheesin, and blank was a G. Well, the other one was Phoenixes, which is an alternative spelling of Phoenix with no O in it in the same spot, so it'd be a blank for an X. As has been discussed in other commentaries, sometimes it's hard for players to visualize a blank being such as a Q or an X, because a lot of the times the blank is used for one of the more common bingo-y tiles, such as a S or a T in this case. So there were a multitude of bonuses for Ray to play there, and it's a good play. It would have been nicer taking the S and taking the triple spot out of the way. As it happens, Stu hasn't got the best tiles to take advantage of the triple himself. He's got Y, V, E, E, F, E, S. What's standing out here for me is Y, E, V, E on top of the S on the triple Eves. I think it's some sort of old-fashioned word, maybe obsolete or Spencerian. Indeed, Eve is a obsolete word meaning to give. Stu decided to play FY. He's given himself a rack leave up. My Eves was second best move according to Quackle, the best FEYS on 01. which would be pluralising Nephrite for 47 points, which would have been very nice. Stu's FY scores 34 points, which is a nice score, but leaving a V, 3 E's and an S. E's are nice, but 3 E's is a bit too much. Ray's turned over his tiles. I can see from the C of Scalini, if C was one higher, it would be cartoony. I'm pretty sure it's a word. Ray's playing fairly quickly and playing Aroints, and he's still got a O left on his rack. I'm guessing that's one of the better moves. Craig's just got it up on Zaziv, and the top move is Octonery through the C. So I spotted cartoony, and I wasn't sure whether there was an anagram of cartoony, and there is Octonery, Octonary, which I won't forget. So Ray has scored 33 for his Aroints, keeping an O rack lead, and he's got a 205117 leave. Stu has picked up WI to add to his EVEES. Potentially Stu might play something like Wives or Views and EFS in the bottom middle. Sorry, left-hand middle. He may not be certain Nephrite takes an S and doesn't play that there. He's played View to the right-hand side of Aroint, which is shown as one of the top few moves. Swive was the highest on 04, which is making Nephrites. I'm not sure if Nephrite means something to do with a kidney. Just double check. Nephrite apparently is a kind of jade used as a charm against kidney disease. So it's sort of not a commonly used word, even though it's relatively high probability. It's around 6,000 probability, but words like that, a lot of not Grandmaster level players would be certain that it would take an S, which it does. But Stu's player view is pretty decent. He's got rid of his V and W and left himself a strong rack leave of EES. Ray's played a Bijou from the B of Burners, which will be for 28 points by the looks of it. Ray had a heavy Val rack plus 2 power tiles of GMX, the O's, I and the U. Stu's got too many I's here. He's got a Z, 3 I's, 2 E's, and an S. So he'd be looking to play off a couple of I's and the Z if possible, which the word which fits the bill there would be Zaiti, but there would have to be a floating T, which there is not. Maybe a tricky move. Again, it can score well with a Z, but it's trying to offload at least 2 or 3 vowels at the same time to give Stu a good rack leave for the next play. It's hard to see where to play off more than one I, and with any plays with I, it's not really scoring greatly. There's size, S-I-Z onto the E of Nephrite on the triple, which would be 42, but will be given a rack leave of 2 E's and 2 I's, which isn't ideal, but sometimes we have to take the points where we can. Other plays it could be such as ZEES making EFS, which would be good points, but Stu's made a nice play after either not risking it or going for other alternatives. Previous move, he's played C, he's missed the either, otherwise a net right. It's the move for appears to be 59.
59 shot. 205.
It's possible that Ray challenged the net rights here, especially as Stu can't have been certain previous plays by playing off the spot. Yeah, I can see somebody's tile tracking solo play must have been accepted. So Stu scored very highly and kept 2 I's, which isn't perfect, but his score's so good. We haven't seen Ray's full rack. He had a rack leave of OOX, and he's played OX onto the top right triple, which is for, it would appear, 56 points, and it is a top play. No, it's a top play because we can only see 3 of Ray's tiles. And I've got a message from Craig saying Ray didn't actually look at his drawn tiles before making a play of OX, which is a bit bizarre, to be honest. It appears there's other tiles we picked up with D, E, G, M, but really you should see all 7 of your tiles before making a decision. Anyway, Ray scored 56 for that, so he's gone into 289 to 205, 84-point lead. Stu had a rack leave of II, and we're waiting to see what he's picked up to go along with that. Hopefully 4 consents would be nice. Stu's picked up a 3rd I and DLNO. So Ray's definitely in the sort of driving position. Yeah. Pole position, I should be saying. Here, if possible, it's playing 2 I's. Would be nice for Stu. There's a bit of a glare on the board. The top move is Dioli Fin through the EF, which is a very good move. Stu's played Dino. I think it looks like he's played at Dino and making aid and other things, which is the second best score on 27 points. Yes, the best move is DIOL through the EF, then IN Dioli Fin, which would have been a double for 48 points. Which, if any viewers spotted that, very well done indeed. So Stu's closed the gap a little, but still 57 behind, and has a rack leave of IIL. Ray has got Modgies, which isn't a word, but he needs a floating D for demigods, I believe. Alright, we've got one letter wrong. It's got Gmod, which is played, plus S, D, which don't look bonusy. He's played Gmot, G-E-M-O-T, making E-F-T, guessing the double word twice for both, once for both words. Gmot's down about 6th best score according to Quackball.
Yep.
Can't quite make out the top play. It's quite. Can you just click on the top play? Oh, sorry, Craig won't be able to hear me. He hasn't got speakers. Anyway, it's Stu's turn. He's 85 points down. He had a record of IIL. He's picked up LTR and blank. So the blank will be very welcome. I believe Liltia and Tilia are bonuses, which are both LILTIER or Tilia, TILLIER. I think it means more clay-like. Tilly. Not really a common word, but it's a word available for us to use as Scrabblers. That will. Either one of these plays will make the game almost even in scores. Hope Stu spots one of them. I think he probably will. Liltia is actually not a word, it's just Tilia, which is a word with these letters, and it is playable from the E of C's. I would say it means clay-like Tilia. Stu's taking his time quite right. It's midway through the game, and he's got the final blank. And could nearly draw level if he does find the bonus here. The next game after this is Wayne Kelly, Grandmaster, against Jack from Nigeria. Next streamed game, that is. Stu either hasn't seen or isn't set enough of Tilia. He's just played Grill onto a triple on the left hand side from Ray's G from his G excuse me, from his Gmot. So it makes Ray favourite for the game with a decent lead, but Stu has got the blank still, and Ray has got a bunch of awkward tiles. He's just played the Q for QI4. I assume it's for 31 points, but also on his rack he's got 3 Ds, S, W, V, which is extremely awkward. And the scores on the board are shown a bit fuzzy, but Ray must have around a 70 to 100 point lead by the looks of it. So Stu had a rack leave of IT and blank after his play of Grill. And he's got a dream rack he's picked up. Well, he's got no tear with a blank as the R, of which there's many bonuses. It's very high probability. It's like retain +1. There's Oterine, no tear, with a blank for an R. A million other bonuses available. Oterine would be playable from the E of C's. With a blank for an S, there's at Tony's. I can't think of any others. There must be another one.
D66.
Stu has decided to play the blank for a D, and he's playing from the Eye of Grill for ideation. It's put a N 2 spots above the middle bottom blank, which isn't too bad. If it was a vowel under there, it would be more dangerous. An anagram of ideation is iodinate, which would have been more dangerous with a E, 1 under the double letter square. The screen's clearer now. That's good. So Stu's got 319 points to raise 348. I was finding it hard to read Quackle's suggested moves, etc. Ray has played the top move with a very awkward rack. He's played wide through the E of Nephrite on the triple for 36 points, which is a good score, and getting rid of a lot of dross on his rack. So he's got a rack leave of D, which is much more manageable. So that's helped Ray take a 65-point lead, with Stu to play with a rack of P, OOGE, MU, which is a bit awkward. A play which has just jumped out of me is a Mungo through the N of ideation in the bottom middle triple, which is 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 27 points, and clearing quite a lot of junk off his rack. It would be a OPE rack leave. I don't know if it's some Mungo, some waste product, whether it be paper or whatever. There's only 18 unseen tiles, which means there's 11 tiles in the bag. We can't see 4 of Ray's tiles yet because he hasn't turned them over, but of 18 unseen tiles, there's 6 vowels, of which 5 are A's. Sorry, there's 7 vowels, 5 A's, an E and a U, and 3 notably. So potentially Ray may have a couple of A's when he turns over his rack, and if Stu plays a sort of high turnover of letters, which may be 4 in this case, such as Mungo, then he's got a chance of picking up. Stu is playing Mungo. It seems the best play for me. It is the best play from Quackle. Valued 2.3, but the next move of MOUP. So Stu's got a 38-point deficit. It's Ray's turn. Ray's got a rack of DDS and 4 more tiles when he places them on his rack. So Stu had a rec leave of POE, and as I predicted, he has picked up 2 of the 5 8s. Ray's playing quite quickly. He's playing Grad, GRAD, short for graduate, making seized, which is probably about the best available. His other tiles being DS and T. It is the best play. Fanciest play was a dust drag through. It would appear to be a U or a US on the board. It must have been through the of Mungo. So Ray has got a 61-point lead coming to the closing stages. There's 10 unseen tiles, which means there's only 3 in the bag. Stu's got a totally unbingo-y rack. So Stu's looking to play off 2 or 3 tiles, either to empty the bag or to keep one in the bag. Give himself as much bingo potential as he can for next, which is much harder than it sounds with what he's got with 2 A's, EOUPT. So bingoing on Stu's final move really would be the only chance he's got of winning. But it seems less likely than likely with what he's got and what's left in the bag. Scoring half decent, he could be such as OP making OPA in the bottom left on the double word there, which would be 4-7, which would be 23 points, but Stu would still be 38 behind and have a rack leave of AAEUT, which isn't very helpful for a must have closing bonus. The very best players would be able to see what to play off and what's left in the bag, and see what chance there is of a closing bonus, with those obviously not knowing what's on Ray's rack. Stu can see 10 unseen tiles, but they're not all available to him. 7 of them are actually on Ray's rack. But the very best players can work out the probability that if I pick up a, say, CT, I can play a bonus through the R, which is beyond my decent but not awesome capabilities. So Stu taking his time over this move. He's probably got quite a bit of time left on his clock, and there's no point rushing. You pay your money for your tournament, you get 25 minutes per game. You don't achieve anything by finishing early, but if Stu takes his time and sees this a lost cause, and it's fair enough. You can hear talking, whether Stu's made his play or whether it's background noise of people who watch the game nearby. I can see in the top right there's a J space T from Nefrat, such as Jot or Jutler, which was a alternative play. I could just see Stu touching the board with the word sure. The screen's a little blurred. I can't quite see what Craig's got up as the best suggested words with Quackle there. Alright, I can see what Stu's played now. He's played A, U on either side of the M of Mungo, making A Mu. What he's done is kept his rack at the strongest possible for this elusive play out of a bonus, but it depends what he picks up. He's given himself a rack lever Potae. Ray will take his time over this move because he'll be working out what Stu has got left, and if there's a bonus, say through the R of Grad or from a G or O of Mungo at the bottom of the board, Ray will be looking to block that. Ray's put down through the R
26.
of Grad Drex. I think Drex is a slang term for rubbish or such like. It's most likely that it can be pluralized. It's inferior merchandise or rubbish. You can spell it without the C as well, so just D-R-E-K, which is quite useful for later. The best move was attack it through an A. That would be just one along from where Ray has played above the A of Grad, which would have got a triple letter for a C worth 3 points. So there's rackets and tackets. Ray's got an 82-point lead. Stu, unfortunately for him, has drawn the final 2 A's in the bag, so he's got 3 A's, EOPT. He'll be disappointed at his pickup and just score as many as he can to minimise the spread. I was just looking to see if there was any scores come through from other games. At the top, Nigel's playing Nuala O'Rourke and Natalie's playing James Burley, who's in 3rd place, but there's no results through yet. I suspect there may be 1 or 2 games finished with some talking ahead in the background. It looks like there's a small tea and coffee break after this, and the game 12 will be at 10:40, which is 20 minutes away when we wrap up this game. The top move this game was P-O-A through the K-E, Poake, which is a bit of an awkward word and one I'm not over familiar with. Race played out with Tolt with his TLT either side of the on the bottom of the board. So the players are just agreeing scores now. Ray's played out, it has 1. The scores are, yes, the final scores are 449 to Ray, Stuart 364, a winning spread of 85 to Ray. So Ray gets his 4th win. There have been 11 games played so far. I believe Stu is still on 5 wins and has lost his first 2 games of the day and will be looking to turn that around next go. There's some nice plays in this game. Nephrite was decent. There was, as we said, with more points available, and the S was such as Phoenixes or Feezing, which is a sort of very old-fashioned word. C's, pluralized Nephrite, was a nice play. But Ray will be happy to win the game and extend his head-to-head to 5 wins, 4 losses, and a draw. So the players will be having a tea break now, and myself or another commentator will catch you in around 15 minutes for game 12.
Final round, yeah.
I'm going to request if it's not on the
Oh dear, right, I'll put them back.
That's a ridiculous one, by the way, because you don't put these any pieces in.
Cheers, Rick.
two forwards out over in the corner. Warrington, two Eastern Tournament. Weatherby, Retford, two Retford. And all the Malta ones as well. Yeah. Yeah, two go to one of the Eastern Scotland. Right, the other announcement is Natalie will be probably opening Tile Fairy store just in the side room opposite the bar room where we had breakfast this morning. So I'm going to buy any travelling stuff or any related merchandise go over there at lunch break. I'm sure you'll also be here during the night evening as well. Right, so 2 more games for lunch break. Please start.
Okay, we're back for game 12 of the UK Open warm-up here. I've just said in the background, Craig's made announcements about advertising future tournaments, etc. So I'm your commentator, Colin North, based in England. I'm current ABSP 173. Just had a good championship in Torquay. Well, back onto the game, we have Wayne Kelly here. Wayne's, I see, just lost his last game by 5 points to his good friend Chris Harrison. And Wayne's on 5.6. And we have Mpaka Jack from Kenya, who I'll just be referring to as Jack from now on. And Jack lost his last game 2-2 to Bruce on 3-7-2 to 4-2-8. So Jack is on 3 wins and 12 points. And Wayne's 2-6 the Grandmaster, so Wayne will be hoping to claw his way a few higher spots by the end of the tournament. Hopefully Wayne will see it as a warm-up for the main event and possibly do better on the main event. Anyway, Wayne played first and he has a record BEAMY S and an O. I believe BE is good and would be playable for good points, 8, 14, 32 points. BE. Sick my neck out and go for BE. Wayne's taken 2 minutes so far for this move, and he's putting his play down. He's playing maybe an anagram of my BE and full of same points. Moby was the best move, MOBEY, as the keeping the A is better than keeping an O. Then Mbay, Wayne's maybe was 4th best and my BEAMY was 5th best. Jack's got an awkward record of M, N, N, 3 E's and a U. Just put something down and put it straight back up. I say potentially something like menu, but 1 to the left of below maybe would appear to be decent-ish move with what he's got, which would have a rack leave of NEE. Score around 20 points by the looks of it. Jack's played Neem, Neem, which has a rack UNE. The best play was Neume, NEUME, leaving EN, which would be an ideal rack leave. Jack's play was a little bit further down, and my menu was the third best play. So Jack scores 20 for Neem, above maybe, and Wayne has a 10-point lead. Wayne's rack leave was OS, so that means he's picked up UWOGA, which is not quite ideal. Wayne's gone for decent tile turnover and playing Wagon until the end of Neem, getting rid of the very awkward W, duplicate O. It's the second best move. Quackle suggested WOG, W-O-G, to be the best move. There must be just above Neem, making Gem, G-E-M. So Wayne has a 28-point lead. Jack's tiles are pretty decent from a rack leave of U-N-E, I believe it was, and he's picked up Heat. H-E-A-T. So it's Jack's playing NAH to the left of Wagon. It seems there's bonuses being missed here. No, they're right. Letters weren't put in for that search. His play's about 8th. It's a bit of a dangerous play, to be honest. It's to the left-hand side of Wagon, and it just leaves the trip lane open for potentially high scores. I was potentially looking at just EH, making W, E, and AH to the right of Wagon, which would have been safer, keeping 3 balls and 2 concerns. Wayne's played in the sort of dangerous hot spot and played Souk, S-O-U-K, which will be 4, 3, 8, 34 points, I believe. Wayne's other tiles were S-I-N, so he's got rid of his awkward tiles, and he had duplicate S's, and it's the top move. I think the third move is Onkus, which I've never heard. Jack's got punted, plus a D. He's played fairly quickly. DEP. Make that. His rack doesn't look like there's a bonus likely from it. So he's played Dep, which is the third best score according to Quackle. Rack TUN, which has potential. Wayne's got a 3-point lead. It's Wayne's turn with a rack of ACINSUY. Wayne may be looking to play off, say, the Y and the U here, which are the most awkward tiles on its rack. There won't be a bonus with this rack. Potentially, he could place an AYU, but it would leave the board very, very open, giving Jack access to the triple lane in the right-hand middle, or playthroughs for 8-letter bonuses should Jack's tiles be of that type. AUE could be played under EM on the right hand side, making EU. Wayne's gone a similar place. He's played Yucca. I don't think it's a bad move, but it gives Jack a 5-letter play to still a triple on the bottom, so I'd say AYU would be safer. But Yucca, in fact, is the third best, and mine's a bit further down in the pecking order, according to Quackle. This Unsea was the best, which is a very nice fit under Maybe, with 5 overlap. So when Jock scored 10 more, which is a reasonable to play. Jack's got ACEINTU. It's close to a bonus, but not quite. He's played Tunic in the hot spot that Wayne's given him to the triple on the side. Oh, sorry, Jack's missed a bonus. I've just seen it. It's Tunicae, TUNICAE. So he's played Tunic. He should have seen what that is he had left, which were AE, and taken a bit longer than he may have seen Tunicae. So he's missed a fairly basic bonus there, unfortunately. The top play, according to Quackle, was CUNY Attic, which is from the Sea of Yucca, which is a valuation of 1 point more than my Tunicae, which could be playable from the E of Maybe, either above or below it. Just checking just now, Tunicae is in the top 1,047, so really shouldn't be missed. Wayne's got a rack of RILLINS. He's played Rill, keeping INS for 11 points. The top play is being shown as L. I guess it's probably under Maybe or BE. Jack's letters are looking strong here. I think there should be something which I haven't seen. I think he's playing Derogate onto the middle E on the board. It's a top play for 83. It's a top play by a lot of points. Second play is Bogart. It's from the B with a nice 19 points less. A nice play by Jack there, which I think will take him into the lead. Sees the 71 points up. From a rack leave of, I'm not quite sure what Wayne's rack leave was, but he's got a bonus rack. At the very worst, he's got Lawniest, but he's got AINSTW blank. Both bonuses with the blank as an E, such as Orniest. I believe Wayneist has got 1 T's is good. The height. The Loneliest from one of the L's of Brill, but won't be a like double word or anything like that. So let's look for a double word to maximise our points there. It should be things through what Jack's provided with the DEROG of derogate. The 1 T's is good. One T's plus R is tin wares, which won't quite fit. The R or the O on the board, there's Waitrons, but again, they're not quite in the right spot that we need. Alright, Wayne's playing the Blankford G for storing at the bottom of the board. Which is the second best player, the best being Ring Tours through the G of Derogate, which could be a double-double for 94. But Wayne's is the second best move for 85, so it's a nice. Another nice one was from the Art of Derogate. It was a Rasting, W-R-A-S-T-I-N-G. So Wayne's taken the lead back by 14 points. Jack's got HIDE and pin, so pin hide, which isn't a word. If Jack had an A instead of an I believe he would have had pinhead or head pin. They are words. Yeah, both headpin and pinhead are good, but Jack hasn't quite got the correct tiles to play with. Jack's played Hinged through the G of Derogate. It's not coming up as one of the top moves. Pine was best on E1. Alright, that would be making Leo Vlogs of D-I-W-E-N and NAPE, an AP for 31 points. So Jack scored 9 points less than the optimal move and has a lead of 8 points. Wayne has AX and Rails, R-A-I-L-S. He's playing Orixa from the O of Derogate. The top move is shown as Axial on 14F. For 35 points. So that would be above the W of storing for 35. The second one is Zerasia, which is a very nice word. X-C-R-A-S-I-A. Now that's a very nice play. The Zerasia is hard to spot. It would be making OX and maybes going down from a similar spot that Wayne's just played. Anyway, Wayne's pickup has given him a play next of Salties, which is good. I think it's something to do with possibly something to do with a fishing ship or similar. S-A-L-T-I-E-S. Wayne's got a 21-point lead. It's Jack's play, and Jack has a rack of flip, F-L-I-P, excuse me, plus A-V-E. Jack's potentially got something like Vale, V-A-L-E, on top of Oryx, making Vid and Axe, but it's not ideal because it would be keeping F and P, which wouldn't be good to leave. Jack's played similar to what I suggested, but an I on the end for volley, which I should know my fours, but I'm not sure of volley. Vali is a Turkish governor, and you can add YET to the end. I think meaning the area that a Vali is in charge of. So Jack's kept himself directly for FEP. He's the fourth best move there. Best move was the better three moves were using two of the heavier tiles of Vape, FAP, or FAP elsewhere. Yeah, Vape would have been in the same place, so that would have been a little nicer. It's valued 10 points higher than Varley. Wayne's got salties, as I've said. It seems an S goes on the end of maybe, which not everyone may know, or the S goes on the end of derogate. S will go on the end of Varley. So Wayne's definitely seen the bonus. It's just where best to place it is. If you played salties under derogate, then the I would be under the double letter word near the triple. It's what Wayne's doing and probably what I'd do, but there's not, Wayne not knowing what tiles that Jack's got. There's a chance of a big reply. Wayne has played a top play. The word's being challenged. It's probably salties. I don't doubt if it's derogates. But they're both good, so it would just mean Wayne will get 5 extra points for the challenge. I'm not sure if it is a penalty challenge actually in the warm-up event. No, it's free challenge, so there's no penalty for the challenge. Doesn't look like Jack can take advantage for that double letter above the I, close to the triple. Obviously, a T goes after salties for saltiest, which Jack hasn't got, with a rack of F, J, N, P, R, E, I. Jack could potentially benefit from the double letter going down to a double word, but has got quite awkward tiles. Looks like he might be going for Piner, which I believe is not right. I believe it's just ripen and repen, even though Piner sounds like it should be right. So Jack's just deciding what to do still. Now he's picked up his P. He may have been playing Piner going down, but it's not valid. It's reaping and ripen with those letters. Finer would be available going down in that spot. Again, ideally it's using as many of the heavy tiles possible. Yes, this is a nice play, P-E-I-N. It's a strange word, but it's a verb to strike or hit with a hammer or similar, with various alternative spellings, and it's the top play, so it's a nice find. It's 38 points. and Wayne still has a lead of 21. Wayne's got a bit of an awkward track here. GV, 2 O's and 3 E's. He plays quite quickly over the top of P, E, with a VOE. Getting rid of duplicate O, the B, and one of his 3 E's. Jack's got some tremendous scoring tiles here. He's got his rack leave was JRF. He's picked up EZQ blank. He'll have had more time to look than me for his play. He's got such as G's, JEEZ at the top through the E of derogate from a quick look, but there hopefully will be better plays than that. There may not be. With 3 power tiles like Jack's got, keeping them for too long would be counterproductive. So even though people might say can score more for J and Z separately, such as G's here would be 36 points and clearing his rack up a lot of clutter. So it may well be the top play. Yes, Jack's playing that. I'd say it's probably the highest valued play by Quackle, even though we haven't got more. It is indeed. So well done to Jack and myself. So Jack's given himself a rack leave of Q or F blank. So we'll be looking for 1 or 2 vowels in his pickup. He's got a 10-point deficit, but not seeing what he's picked up yet. He probably has got the much stronger tiles. Wayne's got GOOTIEE. Wayne's got such as ego under VID, making vide VIDE. I know that's quite an uninspiring move, but there really aren't a lot of options. Wayne's playing a sort of similar-ish move, playing GO, tear, and IO. There's probably not much difference between the 2 plays. The best move was Toto, TOE. And it looks like mine and Wayne's moves were like 4th and 5th best after TOGE and Oolite. Jack has picked up a vowel, but he's also picked up a second F. Toad was also playable above the A of storing. So Jack's picked up DOF, so he's got duplicate Fs, DO, RQ, and blank. Be looking to score as highly as possible with sort of high scoring tiles, but there may not be the opportunities. But trying to play off some of the heavy tiles, like maybe something like DOFF, that would be playable under LA on the top right hand corner. Wouldn't be the best points, but maybe the best. Or OFF on the T of Salty, it looks like he's playing Toff. Quackle's best move is just playing off the Q for QI. Toff's valued, I think it said about 10 points less. So Wayne's got a rack of Boutia, which isn't a word. I think with a D at the top of the board, if there was sort of nothing around it, I believe Tuberoid would be good, but it's not playable. There's still potentially a 9-letter play available on the right-hand side of the board, putting a T on the end of salty for saltiest. And ENT is a sort of good base or building block for a word, but a 9 isn't available on Wayne's current rack. The bag is empty. If Wayne plays that in 2 and doesn't leave Jack's scoring opportunities with Jack's rack of QDORRT blank, then Wayne may well be in a winning position. He's going to take his time over this move. It's crucial. I'm sure Wayne would love to win this game, get back to winning ways. B goes before OIS on the right hand middle of the board. BOIS war with a play of BE, but that would leave Riot plus a U, and it would only be a good move if Wayne could play out with those letters next move, which I don't think would be possible. So sometimes at the end of the game you've got to sacrifice a bit of score to go out in 2 for the sort of most winningest move. There is such as Bentia available through the EN in the right hand column, making saltiest, which would score probably 15 to 20 and keep OU back, which Wayne will be able to play out with next move. Wayne's played out fire through the F, keeping just a B. And he can play that B on OIS for war, as I've said. I'd say Wayne's, unless there's a big scoring spot for a Q, which I can't see, let's say QAT on the Eye of Valley, but that wouldn't be enough points to win. And it's highly likely that Wayne is going to win this game. He's got at least 2 decent scoring spots for his B, BOIS or web in the top corner. In other games, Nigel Richards is playing James Burley, so that's first against third, and Natalie Zolti is playing Karen Richards, who beat Nigel in the first game today. So Natalie needs to win that to keep in contention. I believe Natalie's playing Wayne at game 14 today. And I joked with her last she'll play Nigel in the last game of the day for the King of the Hill game. So back to this game. Wayne is 28 points ahead with just a B left. where he can score at least 12 points, making BOIS in the right-hand middle of the board. So with those 12 points, it would mean Wayne's effectively 40 ahead. So Jack has got to score a net 40 points, so that's his score minus what he's got left to count after Wayne plays out next move. And unfortunately for Jack, I don't think it's possible. Jack could put his D on the end of outfire for outfired and go down to the triple, but he could only play something like DORT. And it's not enough points, and they'd be stuck with a Q. I say, looking at the game as a whole, Jack missing Tuna K early on was quite a big miss, which may have been costly. He did bonus next move with Derogate, which was a very nice move, but potentially if he had played Tuna K, you don't know what he's had picked up, and he may have got another bonus straight after. But we can't say. And Quat is the top move, which I've mentioned on the Eye of Varley, but it will be a losing play as every single player's high up in Crackle's evaluations were Dort and Door making out fired, which I mentioned before, but they're losing plays unfortunately as well. Wayne's played a B for Bois, which I think means boyish looking or similar, to give Wayne the win. With what Jack's got in his rack, Wayne wins 386 to 369, a winning margin of 17. So Wayne's back to winning ways. The next game is scheduled for 11:40, which is 23 minutes. So myself or another commentator, if there's any come forward, will join you then. The game is between Nigel Richards and Stuart Harkness in about 15-20 minutes time.